how somebody, what makes somebody happy might be a little bit different. You know, like even myself, I always joke around with my guys. I said, you know, I'm in my 50s now. So I always say, I go in and I train with you guys. I know the UFC's not coming and knocking on my door at 50 years old, you know, so every time I do a fight, I have the same, one of my best friends always been my corner. And one of the first things I say to him, win or lose, we go out to eat the next day, and I always say to him, I said, did I look good? You know, because if he tells me, no, you didn't, then I know it's time to hang it up, you know. But if I feel like I went in there, and even if I lost, but I went in there and felt like I was in full control, did what I wanted, you know, just didn't get the decision or whatever, I can live with that. You know, I can say to myself that, you know, yeah, I'm still there.
That said, Gafar, you got this upcoming fight. Some people call it an exhibition. You got Mike Tyson, 61 years old, against Jake Paul. You know, a rich influencer, but he's proven himself that he can be an MMA fighter. What say you about this matchup this summer?
You know,
is it a gimmick?
I look at a lot of those fights as gimmick fights. I mean, let's face it. If Glenn, if somebody came up to us and said, "Hey, we're going to put a match on with the two of you, and you're both going to walk away with millions," it's like, would you do it?
I would do it.
Hey, you know, so
but I would be richer. What the hell?
I sometimes I look and I wonder, like, first of all, how real is that matchup? Like, what? Like, why? You know, again, Jake Paul, the young guy. I mean, if he's talented, why is he fighting older fighters that are out of their prime? You know, exactly. Except for that, but you know, the thing with Mike Tyson is, I'm sorry, you know, that guy. Maybe he's not fighting anymore, but that guy can still fight.
You see him when you're hitting his spar partners and whatnot.
Yeah.
And George Foreman did the same thing years ago.
Yeah.
He wasn't that old, but he was still.
And they can still fight. So it's like, you know, like you want to believe that Tyson's going to go in there and he's going to give him a fight. And I, like I say, if it's Tyson, he can win that fight. You know. As I want to say they fought. Going to be a back and forth here. It's either going to end quickly or it's gonna go 3 rounds hard.
We have. I'm sorry, Devin
Vanlengen.
There you go. Wow.
And Devin, again, he's a local boy. He's out of that Barnyard Misfits, you know, and a lot of those guys, they're firm believers that, you know, they're still going in, fighting hard rounds in the gym, which a lot of people have moved away from, you know, and they're that's a different breed of guys right there.
It's got to be the biggest boys of the evening thus far.
I think so.
Training out of Shinobi MMA and Baron Jiu-Jitsu in Evansville, New York. Hailing from Lima, Peru, now Watertown, New York, Jeremy Alfaro!
Wow, listen to the support from Campos. No surprise. I've seen him fight at least twice here before.
Out of the red corner, he is a grappler training out of Watertown Boxing Club and Barnyard Misfits MMA. Hailing from Carthage, New York, Devin Showtime
Vanlengen in the red corner. And the cage door is shut. The thumbs up. And here we have one of 3 remaining bouts for DCF 36, folks. And it starts right now.
And no touch of gloves.
Making a move just yet, Gafar.
No, I think they both respect each other enough, you know, that they're just gauging that distance. For a heavyweight, Campos is actually using a lot of footwork right now. That was a high kick.
Boy, they definitely have eye contact, Gafar. Looking straight into each other's eyes.
Yeah, Campos really looks light. Oh, nice throw.
Campos still stays on his feet, though.
Again, Campos, he's working for that underhook with his left arm.
Jeez.
Oh,
big right by Campos. It's just impossible to get Campos down.
Yeah, he
the
has,
whole cage shot.
he has phenomenal footwork for someone as heavy as he is. Vanlengen's got his his arms locked.
He does.
Oh, there
finally,
he goes.
there we go.
That takedown. That's what he's been looking for.
Vanlengen trying to hit Campos repeatedly as he's on top of him.
Campos is staying composed right now.
Big left there.
He's blocking a lot of those shots, but they're coming down with some power.
Campos might be in trouble here.
Well, Devin's doing a good job of keeping his shoulders pinned up against the side of the cage, so that's making it a little harder for him to work into a submission. And he's staying busy with that ground and pound.
He is. Getting close to the end of round one here. Campos still on the floor.
10 seconds. Devin looks like he's just going to hold on to the bell.
Well, Devin obviously with the advantage there from what I could see so far. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Probably the most significant strike standing was that big right hand that Campos threw. But once it hit the mat, Devin was non-stop with that ground and pound. You know, even though it did look like Campos was blocking a lot of those punches, he was definitely coming down with some heat. You know, he wasn't throwing light punches. So it'll be interesting to see if Devin decides that, you know, his game plan is to wrestle him back down again. Because Campos' footwork looked great, so I don't know if Campos wants to keep it standing.
Well, what does Campos do now? Does he come out? He doesn't want to get down on the mat again.
You know, he had that good high kick early on. He landed a good hand. I mean, I think if he can just go in there and really, really execute his hands. I think he was a little hesitant that first round. You know, and maybe he was expecting that Vanlengen was going to work that wrestling, you know, so he was waiting to defend it or whatever. You know, sometimes that makes strikers hold back a little bit because of the threat of the takedown.
Right. But
I think if he goes out there and just says, you know, hey, I'm going to throw, he landed. So
round two.
And you know, and again, never to criticize how hard people work, but I always say with heavyweights, once you get out of that first round, sometimes you see their endurance really starting to fade.
Interesting. Campos with the big left kick effort.
Yeah. And Campos his footwork still looks light. He's still moving well.
This is exactly how round one started. Feeling each other out.
They're back to that range again.
Ooh, big kick by Campos.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, where if Campos could really use that range and just, you know, work his kicks and work his hands and not allow Devin to close that gap and get that body lock on him. You know, I think that's been key for him, just to be able to use his footwork. That was a nice low kick.
It was.
Yeah, this round Campos is definitely finding way more success with keeping that range. He's not allowing Devin to close that gap as easily as he did in the first round.
But Devin doesn't seem to be aggressive at all, or as much. Is he waiting for his moment or what?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's hard to say sometimes. Is he waiting for the big punch, or is he just waiting to be able to grab something?
Exactly. Ooh, jab
nice
there.
jab. That was clean. You'd think Campos would go to that a little more.
Exactly.
I don't think he had any problem landing that.
They're talking to each other.
Yeah, and now some blood's running down.
I see that.
Yeah, that jab might have broke his nose.
Interesting. Campos can kick. You see that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. For a heavyweight, he is light on his feet.
Devin with the big kick there.
Yeah, Devin's got his mouth wide open, and you know, which a lot of times
Means a
shows
broken
that
nose?
yeah,
Really?
that he's having trouble breathing through his nose. You know, so.
Neither opponent, or neither boxer rather here, is really looking to make a big move for you. This is kind of a slow moving round. The crowd telling him that. Yeah. Oh, and right at the tail end too. He was going for the takedown, but at the end of round 2, the first time we're going to see him.
Yeah, we're going to a last round.
Yeah.
You know, the crowd's not happy, but
No.
you know, again, there wasn't as much action in that round as in the first round, but Campos did what he needed to do. He kept the range. He landed the strikes, you know, and really it was almost on Vanlengen to close that gap. You know, Devin needed to get his hands on him, and he didn't look like he was in a hurry to engage.
Not at all. All right, so round 3, the first full matchup. Who knows if it goes the distance? But after a round like that, what did your team tell you?
Well, this is my opinion only. I would have to say that Devin had round 1.
Yes.
Campos had round 2.
Yeah.
And so it's really going to come down to who does what in this round, you know? And if Campos, you know, the crowd might not like it, but if Campos keeps his footwork going and just lands those shots from the outside, he's going to win. He's going to win just on that alone. So, you know, Devin's got to close that gap. He's got to make something happen because he really didn't show that he had the ability to land counter strikes.
Were you surprised with round 2 after seeing what we saw in round 1?
Well, I thought that's what Campos needed to do, you know, but I was surprised that Devin didn't try to press the issue.
Right,
you know,
right.
I don't know if he didn't have the energy, didn't feel like he had the energy, or if he was holding off for round 3. You know,
I agree with you. Yeah, it's almost like they were waiting for round 3, and that's where we're at here, round 3.
Devin's definitely a lot more aggressive this round. He's looking to cut Campos off.
Campos with the kick after there to no avail. Daring him to kick him in the jaw. Ooh. Oh, big kick effort there by Devin.
It was really telegraphed. I think Campos could see that coming. But this is more of what you want to see. You want to see Devin pushing the action a little more.
Ooh,
you can't have a lackluster performance like you did in the last round.
Something tells me this is going to end up on the mat, but so far that's not happening here in the 3rd round. Still feeling each other out, waiting for the big moment. Crowd waiting for it as well.
Yeah, and they're halfway through this round.
Oh,
you know, if Devin's going to do it, he's got to start making that gap.
there it is.
You know,
Here we go, folks.
All right.
Oh, he might do the takedown. Can't tell if those punches are getting through the boss.
Well, you know, even if they're hitting his arm, it's a good look for Devin because he's pressing the action now, you know. So.
Campos has to get up.
Yeah, Campos is, he's turning his head away. He does have that leg still, but he's not, maybe he's feeling that pressure on his neck.
Look at the strength.
Yeah, there's a lot of squeeze there.
Can Campos get up? He's going to need to, or he's going to lose his power.
Well, he's got to let Devin's leg go if he's going to get up. Right now, trying to lace around that leg, he's not going to be able to stand back up. And Devin, even without that position, he's still throwing bombs.
Close to the end of round 3 here, folks. Campos in trouble. Now he's up. Takes a big right.
He took that knee on the way up. He was waiting for it. He was waiting for Campos to stand so he could throw that knee. Because obviously he can't throw that knee to a downed opponent.
So that will do it. 3 rounds, first time this evening, Gafar, so we made it. Boy, I tell you what, there's no love lost between these two guys.
Not at all.
That's not professional at all, Gafar. This is ridiculous. This should not be happening.
No,
Campos was he took the high road.
He did. He was trying to go over there and basically say that was a good fight, blah, 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 but Devin wanted nothing to do with it.
Well, we don't like to see that, but I get it. At the heat of the moment, these guys are competitors, their hearts are racing and whatnot, but that's something we rarely see.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if, that explosion from Devin is going to give him that decision.
Interesting. All right, we'll have to find out the decision here. The first judgment decision tonight. Ring announcer waiting for the results. They're to the corner to the left of us here at the arena. And another surprise about that reaction from Devin, these guys are local guys and they know each other, so I don't understand that. Now the crowd's giving it to him. They saw that earlier. Now Campos getting in on the act. The referee won't have it. Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we go to the judges' scorecard.
This is ridiculous. This is really ridiculous.
All 3 judges score this bout 29-28. Unanimous decision. Your winner, Devin Vanlengen.
And it goes to Devin.